You've got a half-written novel on your laptop, a course you got to module 3 on, a gym membership that lasted 11 days, and every single one of those things makes you feel a little guilty. Not a lot, just enough. Just enough that when you start the next thing, there's this tiny voice going, yeah, sure, this time will be different. It won't be. Not because you're lazy, not because you need more discipline or a better morning routine or a new planner. You don't. The problem is something else. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Your brain is addicted to starting. That's it. That's the whole thing. The first day of a project, the first week of a new habit, the moment you buy the book or download the app or tell someone, I'm gonna learn Spanish this year. Your brain floods you with dopamine in that moment. You feel productive. You feel like a person who is changing, and that feeling is real. It's just cheap because your brain doesn't care whether you finish. It cares that you began. Beginning is easy. Beginning is novelty. And novelty is what your nervous system is wired to chase. So you start. You feel great. Then day 4 hits or day 9 and the novelty is gone. Now it's just work. Repetition. The boring middle where nothing feels like progress. And your brain, which has been feeding you dopamine for the act of starting, just stops, goes quiet. And you interpret that silence as, I guess this isn't for me, so you quit. And then, and this is the cruel part, you start something else. Because starting feels good again, the cycle resets, you feel productive again, and nothing compounds, ever. Here's what I want you to sit with for a second. Every unfinished thing in your life is not evidence that you lack motivation. You heard that right. You had motivation. You started, didn't you? You had plenty of motivation. What you didn't have was the willingness to be bored, and that's the actual skill. Not starting fast, not having ideas. Staying when it gets tedious, staying when nobody's clapping, staying when the thing you're doing feels stupid and slow and pointless. That's rare. And your brain knows it's rare, which is exactly why it doesn't reward you for it. Your brain rewards what's easy. Your future rewards what's rare. Those are two different reward systems, and right now you're living entirely inside the first one. Think about the gap between who you are right now and who you keep saying you want to be. That gap isn't made of things you haven't started. You've started plenty. That gap is built, brick by brick, from things you didn't finish. Your life doesn't shift when you begin something. It shifts when you stay long enough to complete it. That's the whole secret. There isn't another one. And I know what the deeper thing is. The thing underneath the guilt and the frustration and the why can other people do this and I can't. It's this. You don't trust yourself anymore. You've started and quit so many times that you've stopped believing you'll follow through. You pre-grieve the ending before you even begin. You say, I'll probably drop this too. And that belief makes you lighter, less committed. Because why invest fully in something you've already decided you'll abandon? You have to break that loop, not with motivation. Motivation is the thing that got you into this mess. You break it by finishing one small, almost embarrassingly small thing. Not the novel, not the business, the tiny thing, the thing you can finish this week. And then you let yourself feel what completion actually feels like, which is different from starting. Quieter, less exciting, but it builds something in you that starting never will. It builds trust in yourself, and once you have that, everything else gets easier. Not because your brain changed, because you proved to it that you can stay. So stay, pick the boring thing, finish it, and let the next beginning wait.